Hi, I'm Chef Paul Penny and I'm here in the demonstration kitchen at Henry Ford, West Bloomfield. Today we're going to be making appetizers, and a great appetizer, healthy appetizer and vegetarian appetizer for you is hummus. Once you've made your own hummus, you definitely won't be paying $5 a tub at the local grocery store. So you can make your hummus two ways. You can make it with canned beans, and I have a little trick for you if you're using canned bean. Or today, we're also going to use and utilize our Instant Pot and do our beans from dry. So most people don't realize, but you can make hummus out of any sort of bean. You can do them with black beans like this, or you can do them with chickpeas or garbanzo beans. We're going to do these with chickpeas, and it's very simple. These are dried chickpeas. We're just going to cut the top, and we're going to pour it into our can here. Now, you might want to just check and make sure there are no stones, but 99% of all the beans that you get, that's a pound of beans, and that's going to make over 2 pounds of end product. We're going to add some water, but you do not add salt. You want to cover the beans because they'll absorb a lot. So you want to put at least 6 cups of water in with a pound of beans, at least, okay? But depending on the size of your Instant Pot. We put the lid on, set it for cooking, and then in about 40 minutes they'll be cooked. You don't have to soak them overnight. 40 minutes in an Instant Pot and they'll be cooked. The one last thing on my Instant Pot, always buy the second bowl, because if I wanted to make black bean and chickpea at the same time, I don't have to worry about cleaning or doing anything else with my other bowl. I can just pop that straight in. So once these are cooked, I'll show you how we're going to put these all together. As part of our hummus dish that we're making, we want to make chips to go with it. So preset your oven at 400 degrees, and if you have convection, set it to 400 degrees convection. Now in my kitchen, I don't like to waste anything. So I had some tortillas here. These are carb watch, low carb, high fiber tortillas that are a little bit past their prime date, but they're going to be perfect for chips. I also had some pita breads that I picked up at one of our local bakeries, and they've gotten a little bit stale or a little hard. These are going to make perfect chips. I like the ones that are puffy because they make it easy to break open and start off with. Okay, so on the pita bread, you just take a paring knife and you cut down the middle and around the edge of the pita. Just like that. And you break it open. Just like so. Put that out onto your tray. The regular tortilla that's here, we're going to do this into chip size. So maybe into 1/8. Just like so. Okay. Now I'm using olive oil. You could use avocado or the walnut oil, or even a little ghee if you've got that. Take a small brush and you're just going to brush the surface of the bread. And the tortillas. Turn them over and do the same on the back side. Just like so. On the chips, again, it might make it easier to do them on the board. Just like so. And I'm going to make 2 different types today. I'm going to use a little garlic powder not garlic salt, on my chips. And I'm just going to put those onto my tray, like so. And for my pita breads, I'm going to use some za'atar. It's a Middle Eastern herb that you can find easily at the store. And I'm just going to sprinkle that on top, just like so. These are going to go into our oven, 400 degrees convection, for about 10 to 15 minutes. You need to watch them and then turn them part way through. And we'll get back to those in a bit. So our beans have cooked in our pressure cooker, and now we're ready to go grab the chips from the oven. And the chips are looking fantastic. So these are our homemade pita chips, made from tortilla and leftover pitas. So now what we're going to do is we're going to blend up all of our chickpeas into our food processor and add some more ingredients to make this delicious hummus. We want to keep some of the water that the chickpeas have been cooked into. And while they're still hot, we want to add the beans or the peas to the food processor. If there's extra skin that you see, take it out. It may not seem like a lot, but every one counts. All right, we're going to make 2 batches of this. We're going to add now a little bit of cumin, and a little bit of salt. We're going to add some tahini. We want to do about 1/3 of a cup. And we can always add more if we need it. Tahini is a sesame seed paste, and it is the heart of what's going on with hummus. We're going to take some lemon juice, fresh lemon juice, and squeeze that in to our beans or peas. And most people add olive oil at this point. We only add the olive oil when we're serving it. I'm going to add a little bit of Greek yogurt, just enough to make it a little creamy. That should do it. All right. Now, we put our lid on and we pulse. Partway through, you want to scrape down the bowl and make sure that all the peas are into the paste. One of the tricks is to add just a little bit of cold water, about 1 or 2 teaspoons. You pulse it or you process it until it is really nice and smooth. The last thing we will do here now is we will take a little taste and see where we're at for seasonings. Oh, that's so good. It needs a little bit of salt. and a little bit more lemon. And that, my friends, is how you make hummus. Here's another trick for you. If you're using canned beans, pop them back into a pot with half a teaspoon of baking soda. And the baking soda will break down the beans pretty quickly. Now, we're going to pour this out into our container here. For serving. And we're going to top it with a little bit of olive oil. You could serve this with all sorts of cut vegetables or pickled vegetables. Really go well. And then just add your chips around the edge, just like so. For the larger chips, you want to break these up. Just like that. And now you have a fantastic dipping tool for your hummus. Last thing we do before we serve is we take a little bit of the olive oil, pour that in the middle, and you could also use some paprika or a little bit of cumin on top. There you go. What a wonderful hummus dish that you have. We're going to make another variation using either red peppers or my favorite, sun-dried tomatoes. So for another version of our hummus, we're going to use the remainder of the peas that we cooked and pop them into the same bowl that we just made the hummus before with. And we're going to add beautiful sun-dried tomatoes to this. This might be a little bit smaller batch, but it will still work well for what we want to do. You can do sun-dried tomatoes. We have jarred red peppers. You can roast red peppers. You can do olives, any other sort of ingredient that you want to add to it. These are sun-dried tomatoes that have been soaking in hot water and are reconstituted, but have been drained. We're going to add the tahini. We're going to add again some of the Greek yogurt. It's a plain Greek yogurt. This time we're going to add a little garlic and cumin, a little bit of salt, and then of course lemon juice. You can always use a pair of tongs or a spoon to help juice the lemon. Always use fresh lemons. Please don't use the lemon reconstituted lemon in a container. All right, and now we put our lid on, pulse, and then turn it on to puree. Again, another little trick is use a little bit of the ice cold water. We're going to add the rest of our sun-dried tomatoes. Pulse until smooth. Now we're done. And we find our beautiful hummus is now flavored with the sun-dried tomatoes. Let's do a final taste. Oh, that's so good. And it's just the right consistency. Let's see if we can fit some on the plate here. Maybe we can just adjust it slightly. Get a little creative. The longer the hummus sits, the darker the color will come. And there you have it. 2 types of hummus with our homemade pita chips with 1 bag of chickpeas. Come on back to the kitchen, we've got more for you.